Hi friends, this is Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scoodic or St. Croix River, the traditional territory and home of the Passamaquoddy. And I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today I have a super easy project for you, simple stamping, and I also have some stamping news, so let's get right to it here. All right. So first, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my summer events. Sorry, I'm just fixing up my positioning of everything here. There we go. So my summer events, I have one in-person event happening in June, and then I'll have some in the summer following that too. Plus, I have some online events happening. And for the online events, I'm trying to keep them super simple for the summer. So we will have a couple of kit classes, which you can find by just clicking through on the link right here in my post. I also have a couple of simple stamping classes that just use sentiments. So you can use something from your stash, or you can purchase the stamp set. And they all have goodie bags of either $20 or $25 plus worth of products for you to keep on crafting after the event. So here's one of the stamp sets I'm going to be using. This is the Turtley Awesome one for my Turtley Cute class. And again, we're only using the sentiments for the class. So you can use this or you can use something else from your stash. And another preview is finally this class. This is with Trusty Tools. And we're going to take this favorite stamp set that came out quite a while ago and give it a new twist. So I'm even going to use florals on it so that it can be for any gender and not just for guys. So we're going to have some fun with that one as well. And next I wanted to tell you about the fantastic joining deal that's on right now. If you've ever had a list that's $100 or more of items that you want to buy from Stampin' Up!, you might want to look at the joining deal. I'd be delighted to have you join my team. If you have questions, please let me know. You don't have to sell. And the deal that they're offering right now is the best one they've ever had. So it's the biggest one. You pay $135, no shipping, and in most places in Canada, no tax either. So that saves you a lot right there if you have no shipping and probably no tax. And then with the $135 that you pay, flat fee in most places, you get to choose $220 worth of whatever you want from the Stampin' Up! Website. So it is a super deal. You can get all kinds of stuff for that amount. And then you would also join my Creative Cafe team. We are a group that is in various places in Canada, and we have online events. I offer a $15 a month optional make and take. So you can get those cards and we make them together at our meets once a month, and we would just love to meet you. So if you have questions about that, please let me know. I have a link right here in this post with more information that you can click if you are interested. So then we also have Paper Pumpkin. So I wanted to mention this because I wasn't sure if everybody knew about this. This has been one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Products for a long time, from before I was a demonstrator. And it is a kit that comes on subscription once a month. And it is fantastic. I really like it. It usually is cards. Sometimes there's another project instead of cards, but mostly cards, and you get 8 or 9 cards that you make. And oftentimes they'll have a beautiful box like this. The normal box, if I can call it that, is red. And it's really pretty as well. But this one was a special one that came out recently. And I'm just going to show you the cards that you get. So look at the beautiful cards. They're never difficult, but they're always really nice. So it's a surprise exactly what you get every month. We get a sneak peek, but not exactly everything about the kit. And you can see the envelopes are always beautiful as well. This one was just such a big hit. I really liked this one. It was so much fun to put together. They even come with this fancy tissue, everything's wrapped in, and it comes with everything you need to complete the projects. So they give you the adhesives, they give you instructions, they give you the cards, card bases, the envelopes, the stamp set, the ink, everything you need. So it's a really nice deal. And you can also skip a kit if you see a sneak peek and it isn't what you want this month, which is what I do if there's a kit that I'm not really fond of. And there's no penalty to skip one. And you can also cancel at any time with no penalty. So again, that is Paper Pumpkin. And I've made a new page on my website that you can click through right in this post and find out more about Paper Pumpkin if you're interested. All right, and feel free to ask me any questions you have as well. And now here is our project for today. So this is going to be a fun one. It's a super easy one, just one thing to stamp. And this paper, I had it and one other option for papers to use this week right here on my Julie's Craft Addict Facebook page. And on Monday or Tuesday, I post a couple of different things that I might use in the week's demo here on Facebook Live. And I asked people what they'd like to see. So this week, this was the paper that won. It's called Cute as Can Be. And is it ever cute? I think it's so nice. And here's the ink we're going to use, and that is Petunia Pop. So I'm just going to grab my supplies and we'll just get started. Okay, I had so many things to show you that my supplies were on a different table, so there you go. Okay, so here is everything all pre-cut. So by the way, if you take a class with me, I'll have everything all pre-cut like this for you. Anything I can die cut or cut for you in advance so that it makes it easy when we get to our class time. So this little piece here, I made that with the perennial postage dies. Now, if you don't have those dies, you could just make your own little label, just at right angles, or use a punch if you have one. But these are the perennial postage dies. So there's how they look, perennial postage. And I find these are one of the most useful sets that I have. I have 2 or 3 that I use all the time in terms of die sets, and this is one of them because it's got these big ones, a couple of large ones, and then all these little smaller ones you can use as labels and tags. So I find them super useful. So for our stamp set, we're going to use one that just came out this month in the new catalog, which is called Notes and Totes. And I really like the style of the handwriting in these big sentiments, plus they have small ones as well that you can use. So it's really a versatile set for sentiments. And we are going to use just a note. Now, if you're seeing that this is kind of pink, so I'll put it on the paper so you can see, it's because I've used it with inks that are either red, pink, or purple, which also contains a kind of red. So anything that contains red is going to turn your photopolymer stamps, that's these see-through stamps, kind of pinkish like that. But it doesn't affect how they work in the future. So I could use this after I've cleaned it. I could just use it on something that I'm stamping in yellow and it would work. It wouldn't stamp pink. So it just stains the stamps. Something in the ink just reacts with the stamp photopolymer and then it just won't turn back to white again or clear again rather. So we're using Petunia Pop here today. This nice purple that coordinates exactly with the paper. And if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up's papers, every paper will list the colors that are used in it. So one of the colors used in this paper is Petunia Pop, and it makes it super easy to coordinate ribbons and other kinds of paper, cardstocks, embellishments, everything. It just makes it so much easier because it all coordinates that way. All right, so here we go. And just like that, we have a lovely little sentiment. So very easy stamping. I'm just going to clean up my stamp right now so I don't have ink all over. So this is a chamois. It's called a Simply Chamois, and it's made of this special foamy material. You just wet it down until it becomes pliable. Mine's drying out here because I've used it a while, and you can see it's getting kind of hard on the edges, but it's pliable in the middle. All you have to do to make it all pliable is run it under water. I find having the water a little bit warm, kind of like lukewarm, will do the best job. And then just wait till it's pliable, wring it out gently like you would a dishcloth, and off you go. You're just using water to clean your stamps. So I love that because there is no chemical involved. All right, so let's put away our ink. I always like to stamp first and then put all the inky stuff away immediately, including the stamps. First of all, to make sure I don't get ink on myself or my table or any of my supplies or my project either. And also I like to put the stamp away right away because these photopolymer ones, because they're sticky, they apply themselves to anything else that you have on your desk, and it's very easy to lose them because you can just see through them, and it's hard to find them afterwards. So there we go. Oh, hi, Kathy. Oh, yes, the bees. I love these bees. So this is, again, called the Cute as Can Be paper. So let's put our little card together. This is just half a sheet of basic black cardstock, and everything you see on camera here today is from Stampin' Up. It's all stuff that you can get from them. They're a full service company. They've been going, I think, 37 years now, so they have a lot of experience, and I love that they really focus on very high quality, so that if they have something that doesn't meet their quality standards, they actually remove it from their inventory and tell you that they do. And I respect that because I think it's really important to know what you're getting and what you're getting for your money. Okay, so let's take this paper. This is a 3 3/4 by 5 panel. You could make it larger if you wanted, but I like to have a little bit of a frame of my colored paper on my card base around it. So I'll show you. You could do 4 by 5 1/4, but this is 3 3/4 by 5 to give you kind of that nice frame all the way around. And you could also stamp on that or put some images on there. But I like to use my cards to write letters in, so I always leave mine blank. So that's why you'll see my cards left blank. Now these little panels are both 3 by 4 inches. So that's how I cut those. And this is actually two-tone cardstock. So Stampin' Up! Has been doing a lot of two-tone cardstocks lately. They've got their regular cardstocks and then these special two-tone ones. And they're very smooth, so they're very nice that way. And they have 2 different colors. I don't know if you can tell on camera on this one, but they do have 2 slightly different colors. So it's the same color, but the 2 tones. So one will be lighter, one will be darker, and you can decide which one you want to use. Maybe I can show you here. So this is the darker one that I have in my right hand, and on the card is the lighter one. So it's a bit subtle on the camera, but it does make a difference in person. And I decided I wanted to use the lighter one, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, and if you see me rolling this thing up, so I started going and I wasn't getting any glue. You just have to roll back until the glue gets to the top again. So there's no glue right there. It's not sticky. So I'm going to roll it up. You can see that little bit of glue where it ends. And now it's ready to go again. So sometimes people are wondering, how come this thing doesn't work? Why is it fussy? And once you know that you just need to roll it up a bit, it will work just great. So here's my Cute as Can Be paper. It is double-sided, like all Stampin' Up! Papers, with coordinating patterns on the back. And if you're interested in knowing about the various supplies that I'm using today, just click through to my blog post where it says Learn More. And I've got a supply list and explanations of all this stuff. And my supply list is a photo supply list. And when you click on it, it opens right into my website where you can shop. So, so you can find everything that you're looking for there. This is also a paper from the Cute as Can Be. So you can see there was another pattern with different pink flowers and bees on the back. And we're going to use this side on the front. So I'm just going to put some, yeah, I got to roll that up again. There we go. I'm going to put some glue on there. This is called Stampin' Seal, by the way. I find it a good one. I've tried a lot of glues over the years, and now I just use these Stampin' Up! Ones because I know they keep tabs on kind of how well they work and so on, and I really like that they just use the best stuff. All right, there we go. So we'll put that on. Oops, I got a little glue over there, so I'm going to just rub that off. Okay, there we go. Now we can put on the rest of it. So you can see on this card, I have a little piece of ribbon. So here's the ribbon we're going to be using. This is black and very vanilla large check ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch tall. And it's one of my favorite ribbons because I find that this one looks both rustic and kind of tailored and elegant at the same time. So it tends to suit a whole lot of different projects. So I'm just going to figure out how much I need here. I don't have an exact measurement because when I'm making my own cards at home, like I am right now, I never cut the ribbon from the spool because I find that you use a lot less of it if you don't cut it first. So I just cut the amount I need and then I waste way less of it. So how I'm going to put this on, I just folded it over, as you can see. So nothing, you know, nothing too fancy there. And I'm just going to put a glue dot on each of the back sides there. So let's see. I'm going to roll these glue dots out. These are just right for putting on ribbons. They are perfect for that because they stick to the ribbon and provide enough adhesive for the ribbon to stick to your project, and they don't have to dry like a wet glue. So I always advise using those or some other kind of dry glue for your ribbons. But I always use that one because I find it works great. All right, so there's not really any one right way to put that on. Then we're going to take our little label that we made here, and we're going to use these little hexagons that are called Stampin' Dimensionals. They stick really well, so we just need a couple. And they'll pop that up just a little bit because they're a foam adhesive. If you haven't seen them before, you can see they got some height to them. And they just make everything look interesting, I find. Okay, so let's see if we can use our grid underneath. This is the glass mat you can get from Stampin' Up, by the way, if you haven't seen it before. It's a really nice tool to have at home. And I'm going to just put that on there. Okay. And there's my ribbon on there. So we have one thing left to put on, and that's these little bees, which are kind of the final touch for this because they match. So we have these tiny bee trinkets, they're called. And they really are tiny. They're very small. And what I've been doing is getting one out and putting them onto a glue dot. So I'll show you. There's one of the glue dots, if you can see that little circle right there. And I'm going to put that on. All right. And now I have it attached to a glue dot. So let's see. We're going to put that up in the corner here like that. We'll get another one. Oh, great. I'm glad you like the card, Kathy. Yeah, the paper is just so super cute. I love this paper. All right, let's put this here. And then we'll put one down here. I like to make a triangle. I often just use 3 embellishments because they draw your eye down through the center of your project so everybody can kind of see the main things about it. So let's see, I'll get that on there. All right, and if you have a question about any of the adhesives or any of those things that you're seeing here, just let me know. I don't usually list them all in the supply list, but I'm happy to let you know what they are and how you can find them online. Sometimes that can be a little hard if you're not sure quite what they're called. Okay, so that, my friends, is the end of our super simple little card. You could make a lot of these in short order if you need them for graduation or thank you cards, birthday cards. You can make them for any occasion using any paper with this design, and it's really easy, and yet I think it looks elegant and clean. So thanks again for joining me today. I invite you to look at the links here in my post, and I'd love it if you liked my page and came back to see some more videos another time. If you don't have a demonstrator already, I'd be delighted to help you out. Just send me a message and we'll start chatting. All right, thanks so much. Bye for now, and have a wonderfully crafty weekend. See you next week.